Do you know instead what that's making us reliant on? Do you know what China's labor practices are?
You'll get no argument for me that domestic sourcing...
They use child labor is the answer to my question. Child labor in harrowing conditions.
And also religious
China
minorities.
uses Uyghur labor, slave labor.
Yes, they do.
And yet, you are making us dependent on imports. You're shutting down our mines here in the United States.
Well, we disagree about all of that.
Would you support, well, facts are facts, and sometimes they're tough. But what's going to be really tough is when we don't have any auto jobs left in this country, when we can't mine anything in this country because you're shutting it all down. And we all know why. It's in pursuit of your radical environmentalist agenda. That's the real answer
Senator,
here.
your time is up. Let me just say this, Senator, that first of all, the Twin Metals project has never operated. It's never been operational.
You know, Senator, with due respect, I've sat here and listened to my colleagues who went 2 and 3 minutes over. So I've been very patient. I'd be happy to
second round?
That'd be
Second
fine.
round?
I'll sit here. I'm happy to do it. I'm sure you'll give me some time.
We're not here to berate. We're basically here to try to get information how to do it. We've passed legislation, which I don't think you voted for. They gave us more dependency as far as...
Senator, I'm here to ask questions and to get answers.
Well, you're here to, it's demagoguery. I mean, you're basically attacking every witness we have. You always have. I'm sorry, we just disagree, okay?
If you are opposed to the child labor practices of China and the Congo, will you support the legislation introduced by some of our colleagues in the House that would prohibit all imports of cobalt mined using child or forced labor?
No, I support working hard to transition away from sources that use those types of practices.
Well, why not ban it? Why not say if it's got child labor in the supply chain, we're not going to import it in this country. We're not going to prop up child. Wait, I'm not done yet. We're not going to prop up child labor in this country or fund it.
One of the questions I would ask in connection with a ban like that would be what the impacts, including economic disruption, of such a ban would be.
Well, the impact would make slave labor and child labor extremely expensive. It would make American labor a lot more attractive.
Getting reliable sourcing that does not associate with those types of practices should be the goal of the United States.
But you can't agree that we should ban it. What steps are you taking to decouple American mineral production from slave labor then?
The domestic sourcing in the United States is preferable over activities like you're describing in the Congo.
But yeah, obviously. But we are heavily reliant on supply chains that is shot through with slave labor and child labor. So what do you propose then?
This was the purpose of the interagency working group that I chair.
Well, all I can say is I don't know why it makes any sense to be shutting down critical mineral supply chains in this country, shutting down mines in this country, mandating further reliance on China and other overseas supply chains that are dependent on slave labor and child labor, while workers in our country are facing the loss of their jobs. I think it's just crazy, to be honest with you. I think it's just crazy. And Mr. Chairman, I have to say in conclusion, you may not like my questions, but I'm going to keep asking them. I made a commitment to the people of my state. I'm going to come right here. I'm going to be a bulldog. I'm going to ask the questions, and you can interrupt me as much as you want, cut me off, take my time away, but I promise you I'm not going to stop.